I want to know, how long have you been making music for? 5 years, 6, maybe 7? Normally, pouring that amount of time into any craft means that naturally, you're just going to become an expert. But for some reason, with music production specifically, sometimes that isn't the case. I've been producing for over 10 years, and in that time, I've taken myself from humble bedroom producer to getting over 1 million streams, selling my beats for thousands, and moving out of my bedroom into the spare room. But over and over, I've seen producers and students that I work with, they'll put in the time. They'll spend years with a passion for music, trying to develop their skills without actually getting any better. In fact, even if you're newer to production, you can still run the risk of making these mistakes and spend years trying to go forward and end up not getting as far as you would like. That's why in this video, I'm going to be breaking down the 3 steps that you need to be completing so that by the end of this video, you can know that you're on the path to becoming a top 1% producer. Starting with step number 1, actually finishing your tracks. One of the most foundational and important things that you can do is making sure that when you have an idea, you're not just starting in the beginning and executing that part, but you're taking your ideas naturally through every single progression you can until you're ready to put it out into the world. If you're a producer, that means putting it out on BeatStars or some other trading platform. Or if you're an artist, that can mean making sure your music gets out onto Spotify and other streaming platforms. Whatever releasing means for you, make sure you get it to a place where you can no longer touch it and you can admit to yourself that that is out of the world. It's no longer sitting on your hard drive, right? I'm going to show you guys my framework that I like to use that keeps me accountable for a specific workflow. If you want to download this, check that out. That will come along with a free training where I talk through and walk through every single part of this process. So check that out. That'll be totally free. That'll be linked down in the description. But okay, so this is my framework that I like to use so that whenever I have an idea, it will come in the beginning parts of this stage, usually an idea, a piece of inspiration, a loop or something like that. And naturally, things start to get carved out and I can sculpt the track whilst I'm traveling down this framework. So we've got scratch vocals where I'll throw in ideas and arrangement. In these videos, normally you will see me execute on ideas 1, potentially 2, maybe even 3, right? I very rarely in the videos get to 4, and I basically never get to 5. There's a few videos on the channel if you want to go back where I'm actually executing on the later halves of those processes, but they're really meaty. So they are they are for serious nerds, okay? But yeah, for the most part, I'm sticking in those top 3 because they're kind of the most fun, the most energetic, and the most fun to watch as well. But you have to recognize that if you only stay in the top 3, you're never going to get to the point where you're using advanced production, automation techniques, learning mixing, learning mastering. Every single one of these things is their own sub-skill that needs to come together collectively to make a track. Let me show you this in practice. So this is a single that I'm working on. I can't remember if I was working on this in a video. I don't think so. But I want you to kind of have a rough guess, if I play a little bit, about where you think this might be in the framework. And I'm going to play it maybe a little bit from past the intro.
Didn't wanna fall, wanna stop like, yeah. Didn't wanna go with a dot like, yeah. Shouldn't wanna fall with a stop like, nah. Had to put it down when I know. You know I want it, you know that you want it. I'm on it, something, yeah, I know you got it. You know she got it, yeah, I know you got it. I know you want it, yeah. Love it makes me want.
So we're in the chorus now.
What you would do to me, I know you are the sort of fall. Love it makes me wanna go. What you would do to me,
Chill chorus.
I know you are the sort of fall. Out like that, bounce to the out like that, and I move apart like that. She just wanna go get fly when I run like that, and that's when I got like that.
Okay, so some of the keen-eyed amongst you might have been able to pick out certain clues as to where this is in a particular stage. It almost looks like a finished track. There's a full 2 minutes 50 seconds here, but it's so far from done. And if you don't have a guided framework, it can feel a little bit intimidating thinking, okay, where am I going to start to get this towards the finish line? But using my framework, I'm going to pull this up. I've had the idea, and if you notice, the vocals that I'm recording in here are actually scratch vocals. They're not perfect. They are so far from perfect. In fact, if I take and solo a particular one of these.
Yeah, didn't wanna go with a dot like, yeah. Shouldn't wanna fall with a stop like, nah.
Okay, so the lyrics are gibberish. You've got so much bleed coming from me using a dynamic microphone, just running around the room trying to record or whatever. So nothing is honed in, nothing is perfect, but it's something that I wanted to be able to have. So I had a rough idea of how the song would sound. So I started to move on now to the arrangement process. So I've got the arrangement, things that I wanted to try. I was like, okay, a quiet chorus could be good here. Post chorus could potentially be good here. And even this little alternative section I had to work out once I understood what the vocals could be. So it kind of switches up here. So I've got that kind of chord change thing that happens there, which is, I think of it as part of my arrangement process, divulging that kind of creativity, having those kind of ideas. So if I come back to my framework, we can see, okay, I've got the arrangement. When I come to work on this track, what am I doing now? Now I'm filling in the blanks of my lyrics. What was I trying to say? What was important to me? And the thing that's super, super key here is that when I separate these out, I'm not worried about other aspects at this particular point. I don't have to worry about the mix being perfect or worry that the automation doesn't sound quite as good as I want. I'm not worried about ear candy coming in all these different parts. I can spend all my focus thinking about how can I get the best lyrics and send the best message, and then move on to the next and to the next and to the next. And if you've been watching up to this point and you're feeling like you want to understand these concepts in greater detail and actually start elevating your music to a level that feels where it should be, check out the Producer Mastery. That is my one-to-one coaching program where I teach people, students, producers, beat makers, how to level up their music and start giving them the professional techniques they need to start creating pro level tracks. There's only a limited amount of spaces. It's literally just me teaching. So if there's an option to book a call, book a free call, don't wait. You'll get to chat with me, find out if it's a good fit, and I'll see you there. My second step that I think is super, super important to developing and becoming a 1% producer is posting. And I kind of alluded to it a little bit earlier when I spoke about releasing, making sure you have something that's external. One of the most important things that you can do as a creative in general is, I believe, put your work out there. It doesn't even necessarily have to be for the fame or for the return on investment. It doesn't have to be anything like that. It can be, there's nothing wrong with that. It is that for me as well, one of the many aspects. But if you're not interested in any of that, there's something inherently positive about being able to release things into the world that previously weren't there before. That's the definition, my definition of what it means to be a creative. Okay, so putting stuff out there, whether that means posting on Instagram, posting on YouTube, putting your beats up on beat stores, or putting them in a place like a Spotify or anything like that where other people can enjoy your music, opens up a whole new world that you will need to learn if you're deciding to turn this into something that's more serious. Okay, one of the main things that I end up focusing on with my students inside of the program is oftentimes they'll spend so much time leveling up their music that it's at a certain point, and yeah, we'll push that, but I'll think, hold on, now that you're there, you're going to spend so much time having to learn social media from first principles. Whereas if you'd have just kind of started and been messy, then all of a sudden it makes it so much easier to learn incrementally, slowly. If you could pull up my channel and sort from by the oldest, you'll see this, okay? So you'll see that when I found something that felt authentic to me in terms of posting, which happened to be on YouTube, I also release on Spotify and all of the platforms as well, which I love to do. But making these beats on YouTube, I had no idea what it would look like in the end. And if you showed me this video now with the lighting and the setup and the music and the editing, I would have had a seizure. I said, this is crazy. There's no way I could do this. But luckily, when I started posting first, I wasn't setting out to do that. I was just trying to build a practice of consistency. So my first videos are doo-doo. My second video is doo-doo. I would probably say my first 20 videos are absolutely doo-doo, okay? But slowly, as I'm developing my skill of production, I'm also developing my skill of creating videos on YouTube and learning how to release. I had the exact same journey when it came to releasing music. I had so many issues with my distributor in the beginning that if I was spending 10,000, 20,000 on a release and having the same issues because I'd never released before, I would have cried, man. I might have given up. But luckily, I'd allowed myself an opportunity to fail in a time when no one was watching by posting early, posting regularly, and posting consistently. And lastly, I want to bring you onto one of the most fundamental techniques that I use still to this day to make sure that I'm elevating and developing my skills: active listening. So this is one of the core tenets that is responsible for some of the transformations that the students make inside of Producer Mastery. So what we do on the outset when people join is that we'll spend time together carving out their influences and finding out what makes them enjoy the music that they enjoy. And one of the methods we use for that is active listening, the process of breaking down tracks, listening to everything we can, observing and analyzing, and asking ourselves the question of how could we recreate. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys like just a couple documents I've got some that are super filled up to the brink, and there's some that are like have absolutely nothing on them. What we have here is a breakdown that one of my students did of November by Tyler the Creator. And what's super interesting about this is that we don't just copy everything that we see here letter for letter. That's a remake. That's a different skill. That is something that can be done and I recommend it, but that's not what I'm talking about here. What I like to do is I'll use this and I'll put one level of separation between the song itself and the song that I'm creating using this active listening document. This is my curriculum. So I'll ask myself, okay, how can I recreate sounds like that? What is the progression that could be used here? What is a 2-1 progression in this particular key? Okay, how does he create that type of texture and how can I create those types of textures? When you're using songs that you love to advance your ability, your curriculum cannot go wrong, you know? You're not going to end up making something that you don't enjoy. And even more importantly, even cooler, is that you won't spend a whole bunch of time learning stuff that ultimately you almost never end up using. I remember when I first was trying to elevate my skills and push towards production, I was learning a whole bunch of key stuff, right? And I was like, okay, people have told me I need to learn jazz piano. I need to start practicing my jazz piano. I was learning. You know what I'm saying? All of that blues sort of stuff. And I'll be honest, because it's not the type of genre that I make, I haven't used that in ages. I didn't have anyone to be able to tell me, okay, you don't need to focus on that. That's not the music you're trying to make. You need to focus on this. You need to understand how these plugins work because that's the genre that you want to make. Aside from if you have a mentor, aside from if you have someone like me teaching, taken from your artists that you love and the producers that you love, pulling away their secrets from a track and using that as your North Star almost guarantees that you're going to be moving in a direction that's going to take you closer and closer to where they are, closer and closer to being better every day. So I highly, highly recommend it. This is the way you build a curriculum that absolutely lasts. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Take a couple steps away to make sure that you guys are developing your skills over a longer period of time. Remember, if you're interested in learning exactly how you can level up your music and start making tracks that you genuinely enjoy, check out Producer Mastery. That's my one-to-one coaching program where I help people make music that takes it to the next level. That'll be a link down below to check that out, where you can book a free strategy call with me where you can find out if it's a good fit for you. I love you guys. If you want to see a video of me implementing some of these techniques on a Daniel Caesar type track, check this video right here. But other than that, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.